Right, guys, here we are. MMA UK News. Stoomboy, as always, MMA UK BJJ show. So, normally I'm talking about Jiu-Jitsu or MMA, but we're going to talk a little bit different tonight. We're going to talk about boxing. Now, obviously, it's going to be Evolution Promotions are going to be holding the Contender 7 season. That's going to be at I believe it's Ayr Racecourse. It's still Ayr Racecourse. Or I think they changed it. It was Park
It's
Hotel
moved
now.
to Park Hotel,
So,
Rugby Park.
yeah. So Park Hotel. So 11th of June. So yeah, just over a week and a half away. It's going to be an awesome night of boxing. Obviously, Evolution Promotions always put on some fantastic nights of boxing. So obviously, Contender 7 is going to be no different. So it's going to be an absolute brilliant night. Obviously, my good friend Andy McQuade is going to be on the show. So obviously, Andy, I've known Andy for a number of years now. As I said, I don't normally talk about boxing at all. Obviously, I usually leave that to the boxing experts. But as soon as I saw Andy was going to be on the card, I had to talk to him. As I say, he's been my boy for a number of years now. So definitely need to get him on the show and obviously talk a little bit about obviously what's going to go down on the 11th of June. So Andy, listen, absolute pleasure, buddy. How you doing, mate?
I'm good, mate. Yourself?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. I saw you got the hair done as well, mate.
I got it done just especially for this fight. Do you know what I mean? So, right, I look good.
Mate, everybody's rocking the blonde locks at the moment. I've been getting a lot of the guys, jiu-jitsu guys and MMA guys who I think there's about 5 or 6 of them all kicking about with the blonde locks. So it seems to be the in thing at the moment.
It's jealousy coming from you, I think.
Listen, this hair is beautiful, mate. This hair's beautiful. So, how you been anyway? How's training going for yourself?
Good, mate. And 2 days a day, twice a day, sometimes. Just if I can, if not once. Doing a good hour and a half every time. So,
yeah,
getting enough in.
We know obviously, me and you obviously know each other through jiu-jitsu.
Correct.
And obviously, jiu-jitsu, as we know, is a sport where we don't like getting punched in the face. So, what made you then jump? Obviously, because I know you were into boxing and stuff like that anyway. So what made you concentrate on, obviously, boxing and especially stepping into the ring as well to do a boxing match?
Well, I boxed for years at Northwest, down on Thank. So, I knew I had a wee bit about it, and then I was meant to fight at the start of the year, but I pulled out due to bad pains shooting up my arms, so I had to go and see a physio for that. So then I said I'd just do one, and it's brought me to this exciting time.
Yeah. And that's the thing, I mean, we always love you. I mean, obviously, you've been out there competing in jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. As I said, I always love seeing you out there on the mats. And this one's going to be a little bit more special as well, seeing you in the boxing ring as well. Just because obviously, as you mentioned, you boxed for years. I know obviously you definitely boxed obviously back in the day and so on. And again, anybody that doesn't know Onthank's a rough place. So any boxing in Onthank is going to be a tough night of training.
Oh, it's good. It was always good. With Ray Graham especially, they were good as well. So
yeah.
Having good coaches and good team, it was always helpful.
Yeah. And then what about Evolution Promotions then? So how did that all come about for you, Andy?
For me, I train in Evolution. Evolution's a gym in Kilmarnock. So it is, and I'm good friends with Paul and Jim who run it. So I was always doing the classes, and then as I said, I was meant to fight at the start of the year, and that fell through, so I always said I'd do one. So I picked up this one.
Nice.
Dreaded it ever since.
That's the thing. I mean, we always see boxing. Boxing's it's a tough sport to master. So obviously it's like jiu-jitsu as well. I mean, as jiu-jitsu, as we know, very, very tough sport. You're never going to master it. But I mean, boxing's exactly the same. I mean, it's like a chess match almost. Do you know what I mean? So
there's a lot of levels to it. Do you know what I mean? People are levels above people, so you always get a friendly reminder, like in jiu-jitsu, when you're up against somebody a bit better.
Yeah.
Except this is a punch to the face.
And then what about your opponent then? Obviously, George. I believe you and George trained together as well.
I trained at the start, I think. I only seen him training once. I know he's for Short Lees in Kilmarnock, and I've never really heard much about him, to be fair. So the worries aren't really there, to be
Yeah,
quite honest.
yeah,
No disrespect meant, but nah, I don't see it going to 3. Put it that way.
yeah. Nah, George, obviously I saw that because I remember when it was first posted and there was a wee bit of back and forth. Obviously, a good wee bit of banter going back and forth between the two. I think he was talking about you buying him drinks and stuff like that, and, and so
Aye,
on. So,
nah, there's no money going in my pocket, that's for sure. You know what I mean?
yeah. And
Nah,
then,
it's all love.
yeah, nah, it definitely is. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of respect, not just in boxing, but obviously certain kind of combat sports as well. So there's always that good bit of respect, a good bit of. We always have that friendly banter. But as I said, at the
After
end of the
it.
day, yeah, listen, at the end of the day, we're all pals and stuff like that. We're all pals after it, and then I'm pretty sure you and your man George will have a good chat after it as well. Do you know what I mean? So. And then, what about you? Obviously, in boxing, then who's the kind of people then that you look up to?
Ricky Hand, 100%.
Nah,
Grown up especially.
yeah, yeah. Are you
He's
looking forward
always a
to seeing
bit
him back
different,
in the ring?
a bit eccentric, isn't he? So,
Yeah,
he's looking good. Can't really say the same for
mate. I
myself,
saw the
but
pictures.
he's looking very well.
He does, mate. I saw the pictures of him. I saw the pictures of him yesterday, man, and he looked. Yeah, obviously they had that before and after picture of him. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, I think it was at 6 months ago, at the start of the year. Obviously carrying a bit of timber, and then obviously now, looking very, very well, looking in great shape. Do you know what I mean? So, but that was always the thing with Ricky Hatton. We always seen him during when he wasn't fighting or when he didn't have a fight. He would always balloon up, and then he would
Blowing
always
up and
come
all.
down and yeah, and he would always look
I think
fantastic come fight night.
I think it was like 4 stone every camp. He would have to lose about 4.5 stone.
Yeah,
But he just enjoyed life a bit
yeah.
like myself.
I loved it as well. I mean, I remember watching. I can't remember who he was fighting. I think it was maybe Costa Zoo, and he was before it. He went away and he had the cameras were all following him about and stuff like that, and he went in for breakfast and he had a full English breakfast the morning of the
The
fight.
morning of.
Yeah, yeah. And he said that was always his thing. He said he had people that would not like they would do different things, but for him it was always he would go to the same place for breakfast every single morning of the fight, and it was always a
Every
full
fight.
English that he had. So
Nah, I don't think I'll be having a full English. I'm in a wee water cut now. I've left that a bit late to cut a couple kilos, so I've started getting
what
this in. Oh, it's good. It's all for the
what
love
about
of the
you then?
game.
Yeah. What about you then before comps? What have you got any rituals, anything that you like to do? Do you know what I mean? As you know, some people like to they'll maybe sit and listen to music or they'll have do you know what I mean? They'll do the same kind of stuff the morning of a competition. So anything that you do that kind of keeps you kind of mellow before the fight.
I always go to the toilet. It's just nerves. So I'm always go to the toilet 2 or 3 times.
Yeah,
I don't really eat or drink much with the nerves, but I'm going to have to, I think, because it's at night time this fight on Saturday, so this next
yeah,
Saturday. So I'm going to
yeah,
have to fuel up a bit and just stay calm. Probably just sit and watch telly or play PlayStation.
definitely. What about you? When's the
Something
weigh?
along
When's the weigh-in? Are
those
the weigh-in?
lines.
So, so when's the weigh-ins? Are they on the Friday or are they on the Saturday?
Next Friday, the night
Nice,
before,
nice.
Friday before, the Friday.
Yeah. So it means that you're
The
able to,
Friday, so it gives you the day. Do you know what I
yeah.
mean?
So, you,
So it gives
so
you all
you're able
day
to
from
fuel
Saturday
up
to
and
replenish yourself, really.
yeah. That's a good thing. I mean, jiu-jitsu, we weigh in fucking the
I get all the
morning
water
of.
back in my body that I'm going to be losing.
Yeah, definitely. And then obviously after
Aye.
after Saturday, then, I mean, what do you see yourself doing going forward, then, Andy? So obviously you come away with the victory next Saturday. So what do we see you doing going forward?
Well, I moved to London next July, so I got a new job, so I'm moving to London. So I'm not too sure.
Right.
I'll see what's closer to the time.
Yeah, yeah.
But it'll be either or.
Are you moving closer to
So
close to where David is, or is it
I'm
going to
at
be a distance
Stansted
away?
Airport. Stansted Airport, so I'm at an hour. I was talking to Andy Baker, so I'm going to go over and see him as well. He's got to put me up for a couple of days, he said. So
Nice.
see how that goes.
Oh, do you know what? He's actually putting me up in July as well. I'm coming down for there's an event, Grapple Kings. It's going to be down in Southampton. So obviously Andy was saying he's about 20 minutes away. So we might even cross paths. Maybe we'll be able to share a bed, Andy.
If the dream works, you know what I mean? We can share a bed. Of course.
I love it.
Cross paths at the right time.
Definitely. Well, listen, I'm down, 22nd of July. So, and then I'm down a couple of days, 22nd, 23rd.
I move into my digs on the 17th or 18th. So I'm moving down to David's. I'm getting to David's a week before. Just relax.
Yeah. Nice.
Get everything down there.
Oh, well, listen, good luck with the move. I hope all goes well with the move, buddy. Do you know what I mean? So,
thank you very much.
Final thing for you then, Andy. So obviously you've been in the game, combat sports for a while. So anybody you want to shout out to? So the usual friends, family members, teammates, things like that.
Well, thank you very much for having me on anyway. And Paul, Jim, Sean, Bulldog, he knows who he is, and all the other team, Jordan, Jim, everybody else, they know who they are.
Definitely.
Just a teammate.
Definitely.
I wouldn't be here with them. I wouldn't get fighting with them, so
no,
it's all good.
Listen, we're definitely looking forward to next Saturday. So guys, that's Saturday, the 11th of June. It's going to be at the Park Hotel. So that's going to be, I believe it starts about 6:30. So obviously first fight kick off about 6:30. So Evolution Promotions. So head over to our Facebook page, Evolution Promotions. That's Contender 7. So there is still some tickets still available. So obviously anybody that is interested, then just head over to that page and you'll be able to get your tickets directly from them. As I said, it's going to be an awesome night of fights. Obviously, we're going to see my boy, Andy McQuade, up against George Cairns. So Andy's going to take the head off him on the night. So we're looking forward to seeing Andy go out there and kick some ass. Do you know what I mean? So Andy, listen, absolute pleasure, buddy.
Well, you know the truth.
Definitely. Definitely.
Thank you very much.
No problem. Listen,
enjoy for my dinner.
Listen, enjoy the rest of your training, buddy, all right?
This week.
And I'll see you next Saturday, all right?
Fucking murder. Right. I appreciate it.
Thanks, buddy. Take care.
I will do. And you'll be the first to know when I win. Thank you.
Definitely. Bye-bye.